Hello viewers, yes, this is Ranjana ma'am and you are watching, yes, yours as well as my channel. And I know the thumbnail says it all. This is for my ISC students, yes, and this is a poem, the first poem. I had got quite a few requests from my YouTube viewers regarding this poem. The first one, it is written by the Nobel Prize winner. Yes, who else but Rabindranath Tagore. For this poem, Abhisar, actually was written in Bengali and then it was translated into English. Abhisar The Tryst. So, Abhisar is actually a Bengali word. And tell you one secret, this poem is very close to my heart. Twice I had recited this Bengali poem, the Bengali poem, this is the translation, in two different places. Once it was in an inter-school competition and I had won the first prize for this very poem, and later in college also, in the inter-class one in college also, it had brought me the first prize. So that is why I said that this is very close to my heart. So without wasting any more time, let's proceed. Abhisar. So page 5, I always say read the box where it is about the author or the poet or about his work. So we can take a few lines from here also. Abhisar, translated as The Tryst, so in English it is The Tryst, was written in Bengali by Rabindranath Tagore in 1899 and appeared in a collection called Kotha o Kahini. Yeah, this is the Bengali poem book, and it was this Abhisar was one poem in that book. And then we can go to the last paragraph. This is a story based on Upagupta, a Buddhist monk who lived in the 300 BCE and was revered by Emperor Ashok. So during the time of Emperor Ashok, it demonstrates the value of love and compassion that may be found in unexpected persons under unusual circumstances. Yes, so Abhisar The Tryst. So you might be wondering this English name The Tryst, because Abhisar I said is the Bengali name. So what does tryst mean? Tryst is, you can say it's an agreement, more so between lovers. Though here it is not really the lovers. Upagupta is not really the lover. And yet the poem has been named The Tryst. The Bengali one is really nice. Those of you who are Bengalis, you can go through it to get the true feeling of this one. Others have to remain satisfied with what is here. Upagupta, the disciple of Buddha, lay asleep in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. So where does the action take place? In Mathura. And who is Upagupta? He is a disciple of Buddha, Gautam Buddha. So these monks or these disciples, they discarded their family life and many times a lavish life, a life of splendor, a life of riches. They abandoned all these to serve Buddha. So lying in the dust by the city wall in Mathura is nothing abnormal. Yes, they lived a life of hardship. Lamps were all out, doors were all shut, and stars were all hidden by the murky sky of August. So the time is August, that means autumn. Everyone, they are inside their homes, the lights are shut, stars also hidden. And then what happens? As he is asleep by the city walls of Mathura, something happens. What? Whose feet were those tinkling with anklets touching his breast of a sudden? He woke up startled, and the light from a woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. So, as he was sleeping and everywhere it was darkness, so a lady who was coming, very well ornamented and all that, unknowingly, she, or rather her foot, touched the breast of Upagupta. And he woke up. And the lady had a lamp in her hand, or a light in her hand. Yes, she had a lamp in her hand. And then she saw that, oh my God, I have my feet, or I have trod my feet, I have touched an ascetic. My feet has touched an ascetic, his breast. So she is very embarrassed. Oh my God, what did I do? So how was this? Seems to be a rich lady. Why? Feet were those tinkling with anklets. So she had worn those costly or anklets. And that feet had suddenly touched the breast of Upagupta. The woman is unaware. It's not her fault. He was lying in the darkness by the wall of Mathura, and she was coming proudly with her well ornamented and all that, and suddenly her feet touches the breast of this man, this disciple, without being aware. She doesn't do it intentionally, by mistake. So he wakes up. He is surprised. Whose feet touches my breast? So he woke up, and the woman sees him in the light of the lamp. The lamplight fell on his forgiving eyes. Yeah, he doesn't get angry. He's an ascetic. He doesn't get angry. So he looks at her with forgiving eyes. So who was this lady? It was Vasav Datta, the dancing girl, starred with jewels. So yes, she is the dancing girl of the city. She has many patrons. Rich people, they come to see her dance. So naturally she is very rich. So starred with jewels. Yes, jewels here, everywhere. Clouded with a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth. So she is wearing a light colored pale blue mantle, a cloak sort. And yes, she is young. So she is as if drunk in the youth. So she is intoxicated by her beauty and youth. But these are transitory things. She doesn't know it. Wealth, beauty, youth, these are transitory. They don't remain with a person forever. Sooner or later they will be gone. The real thing which remains with you forever is your soul. That will never change, but your body will be subject to changes. It won't, if it is beautiful today, it won't remain that beautiful, but we fail to realize it. Today you are rich, tomorrow you might become poor. So she lowered her lamp and saw the young face, austerely beautiful. So she lowers the lamp which she had in her hand and looks at the face of Upagupta. He seems so beautiful in a different way, austerely beautiful. "Forgive me, young ascetic," said the woman. "Graciously come to my house. The dusty earth is not a fit bed for you." So now she asks him for forgiveness. She tells the young ascetic to forgive her, and then she invites him to her house. "This is not the fit place for you. This hard bed, this is the road, sleeping by the roadside. This is not a fit place for you. Please come to my house." So she is offering him the hospitality of her house. She is inviting him to his house. But for an ascetic, these things are meaningless. He is used to a life of hardship. He has given up his family life in order to lead this type of life. So it's natural that he will reject. The young ascetic answered, "Woman, go on your way. When the time is ripe, I will come to you." So he declines her invitation and says, "No, please go where you are going. When the right time comes, I will go to you." That means when you are in need of me, I will surely come to you. And then what happens? Suddenly the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. The storm growled from the corner of the sky and the woman trembled in fear, as if the weather is indicating that in future she might need his help. So as if they are agreeing to what Upagupta said, but in a fearful manner. Just see, suddenly the black night showed its teeth. How? The black night is being personified here. How did the black night show its teeth? The lightning is supposed to be the teeth of the black night. In a flash of lightning, the teeth of the black night. The storm growled. Storm is also being personified. The storm growled from the corner of the sky, and seeing these ominous weather, these ominous signs of the bad weather, the women felt frightened. She trembled in fear. One chapter here ends. After that, 1 year, nearly a year. A year had not yet passed. Not yet. This is August, and the next encounter will be in the month of Chaitra. That means it should be mid-March to mid-April, before the new year begins for Bengalis. Remember, this was written in Bengali. So they meet again, but in very contrary situations. Not that rich Vasabdatta which she is today, but in a pathetic condition, ascetic Upagupta finds her, and then he feels is the right time. A year had not yet passed. It was evening of a day in April. In the spring, yes, it is springtime. It is April, right? Here it is mentioned only. In Bengali, the Bengali month was mentioned. So it was evening of a day in April in the spring. So which season was it? It was springtime. And first meeting was during August. That means autumn. The branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. Yes, spring. The trees, they are filled with blossom. And where are the villagers? Gay notes of a flute came floating in the warm spring air from afar. From the distance came the note of a flute, which had filled the whole atmosphere. The citizens had gone to the wood for the festival of flowers. So celebrating the festival of flowers, the citizens, yes, because spring is the season. Nowadays, though, we hardly have a spring season. Immediately after winter stops, it is summer because of the global warming. But there was a time when the season spring was the time when the trees or the plants, they blossomed into flowers. So to celebrate the festival of flowers, the villagers or the citizens of the town, they had gone to the woods or to the forest to celebrate it. Yeah, woods were full of trees, and naturally all the trees had blossomed into flowers, and they had gone there to celebrate this occasion. From the mid sky gazed the full moon on the shadows of the silent town. Full moon means it should be a full moon day. We say na Purnima, so it should be that. So gaze the full moon. The full moon again is being personified, gazing on the shadows of the silent town. The town is silent. Why? Because the citizens have gone to the forest or gone to the woods. The young ascetic was walking in the lonely street. That time also the streets were deserted. Why? Because they had shut, the citizens had shut their door, the lamps, the lights were out, and it was a dark night. And today also the streets are deserted, but for a different reason. The citizens have gone to the woods to celebrate the festival of flowers, and it is a full moon night, and at this time Upagupta is walking. That time it was Basavdatta who was walking, and Upagupta had been lying on the street. And now it will be just the contrary situation. Basavdatta lying unconscious, and Upagupta, or rather semi-conscious, and Upagupta walking towards her. Well, not very, not because he had known it to happen, but somehow. The young ascetic was walking in the lonely street, while overhead the lovesick quails uttered from the mango branches their sleepless plaint. You must have noticed, if you have trees in your locality, I wouldn't say in your house, because most of us we live in flats, apartments, housings, but if you have a mango tree nearby during spring, you must have heard the cooing of the quail. Coo, 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 they keep on. And if you imitate, they'll hear you for some time, they'll stop, and then again they'll start. So while overhead the lovesick quails uttered from the mango branches their sleepless plaint, maybe calling out to their partners. And what was Upagupta doing at this moment? Upagupta passed through the city gates and stood at the base of the rampart. So he has left the city. He's passed through the city gates and he is just on the boundary. Outside the boundary, who is lying? What woman lay at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? I told you, mango trees for the quails. And then he sees a woman lying at his feet. Who is this woman? She has been thrown out of the town, outside the city gates. Struck with the black pestilence, her body spotted with sores of smallpox. In those days, smallpox was considered a very deadly, fatal disease. Many people died, or if they survived, there were marks on the face, some lost their eyes. Very horrible disease and very infectious. They say that smallpox has been eradicated. Yeah, it is a fact, but still the germs are kept concentrated in the labs of various countries, so that if there is a chemical warfare, they can always spread the germs, like they have done in the case of COVID. So, black pestilence, yes, it refers to the smallpox. Her body spotted with sores of smallpox. So, her full body was filled with smallpox. And as a result, that very dancer, who was the favorite of the town, who was very rich and everything, but see what a fate awaited her. She had been hurriedly driven away from the town to avoid her poisonous contagion. So, in order to stop being infected, or in order to stop her from spreading the infection, the people of the town, what did they do? They took her and drove her out of the town and put her outside the gates of the town, so that the disease did not spread through her. So they were so scared. Now she is left to die there. And who comes to save her? The ascetic sat by her side, took her head on his knees, and moistened her lips with water, and smeared her body with balm. So this is where the ascetic is needed. When she had requested him to come to her house, he had refused. Why? He had told her that when the time comes, I'll go to you. Yes, now she needs him. The time has come when she has been discarded. That time she was rich, intoxicated with her own beauty and youth. She did not need him then. And now that everyone has deserted her and she is in desperate need of someone to come and help her out. And it is then he feels the right time has come and he has come to her. And what are the things he did? He sat by her side, took her head on his knees. Her lips were dry, so moistened her lips with water and smeared her body with balm. So soothing balm, smearing it, putting on her body this soothing balm, so that the pain or the misery of the pox was to some extent, she was relieved of the misery to some extent. So she is in a dazed state, semi-conscious state. Who are you, merciful woman, merciful one? Asked the woman. So she most probably was running high fever or something. She did not recognize him, or she was in a semi-conscious state, and so she couldn't place him. So she asked, who are you, merciful one? Yeah, merciful one only. When the people who knew her, at one time she was the favorite, and people, her acquaintances, they had driven her out of the town for fear of being infected, and then someone comes and helps her. So naturally she wants to know who. She calls him a merciful one because of that. And what does Upagupta reply to it? The time at last has come to visit you, and I am here, Bashabdatta, replied the young ascetic. So, since this is a translation, it follows in blank verse. But those in Bengali, it is very lyrical, very sweet, and the rhyme, it follows a perfect rhyme scheme. Tagore's poems in Bengali, they form a perfect rhyme scheme. When they are translated into English, they lose a lot of their charm. Yes, it is a story. Here you read it as a story, but when you read it as a poem in its natural language, the native language, then you will feel what a master poet he was. So what does these two lines, last two lines are also very beautiful. So, who are you, the merciful woman? Merciful one asked the woman. Twice I made the same mistake. Who are you, merciful one? Asked the woman. The time at last has come to visit you. Yeah. So he had allowed her to go. He had refused to go to her house. When you need me, I will only come to you. I don't need to go to your house now. The time is not ripe. When the time is ripe, when you need me, then I will come to you on my own. And he has done it. The time at last has come to visit you, and I am here, Bashabdatta. So he had kept his agreement. He had agreed to come to her when the time was ripe, and so he has come, and that is why the poem in English has been named as The Tryst. Replied the young ascetic. Don't you think it is a beautiful story? So, what are the main points in this story? Money doesn't remain forever. Youth and beauty also, they don't remain forever. And help can come from unexpected quarters when you least expect them. And your own ones might betray you, like they did with Bashabdatta. Your own ones might, when trouble comes, and your own ones might desert you. But all is not lost. Merciful God sees to it. And then help comes from quarters when you least expect them. Had she remembered this tryst? But the ascetic had remembered. She had forgotten it because she was intoxicated by her youth and beauty. So I don't think she remembered that the ascetic has said, you go your way, when the time comes, I'll meet you. I'll come to you. I don't think she remembered. And that is why she asks, who are you, merciful one? And he says, yes, the time has at last come, and I have come. So I told you it is a free verse, it doesn't follow any rhyme scheme. And what about the style of the poem? The style of the poem is it is quite a simple poem, a story. It is a traditional poem. No rhymed words in this one. And the imagery is beautiful. The lovesick coils, or the night showing its teeth in the flash of lightning, the full moon. So the imagery, it is rich in imagery. The murky sky of August, or the springtime, the ones which please your eyes, that those imagery which are pleasant to your eyes. So like the dancing girl with the lamp in her hand, the jewelry she is wearing, and the spring season, the trees overburdened with flowers, laden with flowers, music of the flute, they are pleasant to your ears. And I told you personification, murky August sky or the black night, stars were all hidden by the murky sky of August. The black night showed its teeth. So this is personification. Let's see if there are any other figures of speech present. No, not really. Alliterations there are, like in spring season, the S sound, spring season, festival of flowers, yes, FF, and then no, I don't think there are. Suddenly the black night showed its teeth. Suddenly and showed, but then also it is not very much. Rather, festival of flowers and in spring season, they are the alliterations. So the poem is in two parts. One is the autumn season of August, or it can be the late rainy season, but normally, yes, late rainy season we can say, because rainy season, when do we have it? June, July, August, yes, August, rainy season. I think September should be autumn. So anyway, it is the rainy season. And where do we find Upagupta? He is lying in the dust, in the near the city walls of Mathura. And the contrast there, the dancing girl, yes, in her jewelry and everything, she is a very attractive figure, very proud of her wealth and beauty, and she invites him to her house. He politely refuses because he is an ascetic and he doesn't fall in the trap of the city dancer. He has overcome all these temptations. So any other person would have been happy. Oh my God, she is the city dancer and she is inviting me to her house, and would have grabbed the opportunity. But no, he is an ascetic, a follower of Buddha, and he has overcome these temptations. So very politely he refuses. Not in my want, in your want I will go to you. Not when I need, but when you need me, I will go to you. She was lying in the dirt and she had offered him a nice bed. Yes, this bed is not fit for you. But he said no. I will go only when the time is ripe, the right time. Because at this moment she doesn't need his help. When she needs his help, he will be there by her side. And then again, the second part we find is in April. It is springtime. Everything is beautiful. Only that part where Basabdatta is found outside the city walls. The people are celebrating the festival of flowers. There is a picture of happiness everywhere. But Basabdatta is not happy. She has been thrown out of the city for fear that the infection might spread. Her own people only, they have thrown her out. The people who maybe at one time were her admirers, they threw her out. And she is the same girl. And when she asks him, who is it? Who are you? Merciful one. And he says that yes, now the time has come. So what is the irony here? So in a short time, you can be brought down from your great heights. It doesn't take much time to bring a reversal of fortune. In August, that lady, she was so rich, so beautiful, so young, had such powerful friends, and not even a year, only a few months, from August to April, count it. And what has happened? A reversal of fortune. And she is lying helpless in the dust. In August, it was Upagupta who was lying in the dust, but he was not helpless. That was his choice. And now she is lying in the dust. It is not her choice, but she is helpless. And then she needs Upagupta. So, and light and darkness also very nicely used here. So the woman, she was not very much aware of the real and unreal. So to her, everything, all that glitters is not gold. So the ornament and all that they seem to be her life. But the ascetic had realized that these things, materialistic things, are of no use. He had overcome his temptation of materialistic pursuit. So when her life is in darkness, he comes like a light. And he tries to soothe her, offer her relief, when the people who had earlier surrounded her had thrown her out. So a beautiful poem, very nicely. It has to be, it's Tagore after all. So though in translation a lot of the music and beauty has been lost, but whatever has been retained is still very great. So what is the theme? The theme is that youth and beauty, they are transitory, just like money also. They don't stay. They are like the water in the plant, in the leaf of a lotus plant, it is said, na? It doesn't remain there forever, it dwindles down. So these things are transitory, materialistic things. With age or due to some illness, they will leave you. So in August, the woman was very beautiful, very rich. She was proud of it. And within 6 to 7 months, within 8 months, what a change, what a reversal of fortune. She is like a beggar. She is lying on the dust. So she is not an object of beauty. She has lost her attraction, her attracting powers. They have left her. Why? Because of this pestilence, because of the smallpox. So what does this show? That beauty is not forever. Though Keats says a thing of beauty is a joy forever, but that thing, beauty, has to remain. Then only it is a joy forever. But a thing of beauty is not forever. So, and another theme could be Upagupta's, if we take Upagupta, then yes, his selfless service. He doesn't expect anything in return from this dancing girl. He doesn't need the bed which she is offering. He doesn't need her help. But when she needs his help, he is there. So this is selfless service towards humanity, and that is why they have become ascetics. They have left their homes to serve humanity. And he is naturally a true, he is doing true service to humanity. He is a real disciple of Gautam Buddha. So these ascetics are not tempted by the beauty of, and so he are not tempted by materialistic things. As such, Upagupta is also not tempted by the beauty of that charming dancer. But he promises, he agrees, I will visit you. Not today, I will visit you. But when you need me, when the time is right, I will come to you. So he comes, he consoles her. So this theme could be the selfless service to humanity, Upagupta's selfless service to humanity. Kindness is generosity towards humanity. So these, there can be more themes as you interpret. To me it is that materialistic things, they don't remain forever. And another one is that selfless service to humanity, that is the, that should be the real essence of life. So yes, that brings my class to an end. And yes, please, if you have watched the full video, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe. Do subscribe. What happened? It doesn't matter. I have reached my, I've got my silver play button. I've reached those 100K, but still I want it because it keeps me going. In the recent times, just because ISC students, they completed their exams and then a lot of unsubscribing, yes, so they dampen my mood. I know they don't need it anymore because yes, it's very logical. But still I need from y'all who are studying, who are waiting for my videos. If you, many of you, yes, you all feel, oh, I'll subscribe today, and then you forget. But when you all subscribe, it keeps me going. It is like as if a tonic. It rejuvenates me. So yes, you all must be thinking, oh, ma'am has finished the lecture, let's switch it off. Anyway, just share it and subscribe to my channel and wait for my further videos. They are all for your new syllabus. So at this moment, since I have finished with the old syllabus, now is the time for me to concentrate on the new syllabus, and just wait for me. I'll be bringing you many more videos to help you in your need. Bye for the time being.